Mic check 1 2 1 2. Top of the morning to you. What a night it was last night. My goodness. Goodbye, Oklahoma City. The Dallas Mavericks sent them home and they are on their way to Cancun. If you saw that game last night, it was a thriller for sure. Today is going to be a pretty calm day. I have a bunch of errands to do today, and sometimes you can't really get out, right, to go do a lot of game hunting because of responsibilities. But there are games that you can find for under $20, in a lot of cases for under $15, even online. And I wanted to show you 10 games under $20 that you should be able to find both in the wild and online. And these are awesome quality titles. And I'm going to show you 10 games across a number of platforms. So without wasting any time, let's dive into these games, because these might be some games that you'll want to look into today. So the first one that we have up here is Shaman King, Master of Spirits. This is an action platforming RPG style game where you go through, and with each boss that you beat, you pretty much pick up new skills, new attributes, new moves that you can execute throughout the game. And they give you the ability to get through certain parts of the game. I really like this game. I beat this when I was in undergrad. I played this game a lot, and I actually have the second part in this. This is on the Game Boy Advanced, and Shaman King will run you around 15 bucks. It's by Konami, so you know they're known for making some pretty awesome titles. This is one that I would definitely check out. It's not expensive at all, and it's one that you will enjoy. I guarantee it. So that's one game. The next one you've definitely heard me talk about plenty of times in the past, and that is Final Fight. The original Final Fight on the Super Nintendo. Despite how iconic this game is, and despite how influential it's been on the entire beat-em-up genre, the original Final Fight is pretty inexpensive. You can find this game for under 20 bucks, usually around 15, between 13 and $15. And this is one that is a lot of fun. It's a one-player beat-em-up, so you can't play this one with friends, but it's still a really fun game, really great boss battles. I really like the feel of this beat-em-up game. It's one of the better ones on the Super Nintendo, to be honest with you. It's only surpassed by the other installments in the Final Fight series, being Final Fight 2 and 3. Maybe Battletoads and Double Dragon would give this one a run for its money. There's a few good beat-em-ups on the Super Nintendo, but in terms of a classic, this is definitely a classic. And if you're not trying to break the bank today, you want to just add some really quality titles for cheap, Final Fight is going to be a great bet for you. All right, the next game up is also another Super Nintendo game, and this one is going to be X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. X-Men Mutant Apocalypse is a very good-looking game on the Super Nintendo. I gotta say that it's very colorful. The sprites are great. The characters are large on the screen, and you're able to execute at least one of your mutant moves with each character. This is one, I like this one because it actually has Psylocke in it. I didn't really see a lot of games outside of like the Marvel versus Street Fighter or like X-Men Children of the Atom. I didn't really see a lot of games with Psylocke. So this is a cool one. It also has Beast in it, which is really cool. I don't even think you see Beast in Marvel vs. Capcom, which is strange. I don't know how Beast didn't make the cut, but this does have Beast in it. So this is a really cool beat 'em up. This is a beat 'em up. It is somewhat of not a button masher, but it does get a little bit repetitive on this one. It's not as dynamic as like a Final Fight, in my opinion. But if you're a huge fan of the X-Men, franchise, and you really like X-Men characters, this is one that you'll definitely enjoy, especially if you like the later Marvel games, including the fighters. This is one that you'll enjoy. And again, this one will probably run you between $17 and $19. So this is on the higher end of the $20 price point, or I guess under $20 price point. But this is a cool one, so I would definitely check this out on the Super Nintendo. Next up, we have a Nintendo classic, and this is Strider on the NES. So if you are into NES collecting, I've been into picking up NES games as of late. and you're looking for an awesome platformer, Strider is definitely an amazing value purchase. You can pick up Strider for between $8 and $9. That's how cheap this game is. But it's one of the better looking NES games. You have some pretty cool moves. It's not as fast paced, in my opinion, as like the Strider you would have played on the Sega Genesis. But it's still fun for the NES, decent music, and pretty good platforming. It's like, you know, it's a side scroller. So if you're into that genre, I think you will like this one. But again, really great value, right? For your money. And again, this is another Capcom game. I think the first 3 games that I've shown you so far have been Konami and Capcom. So you'll probably see a lot of that as we go through here with these games. The next one we have is another NES game. This one, though, is by Sunsoft, and this is Batman, the video game. Sunsoft was also tight. I mean, Sunsoft was right up there. I'm not sure when like Sunsoft stopped making games, but I know they were behind a ton of really classic bangers. And Batman is another one. Great value, right? So Batman will run you between 10 and 12 bucks. So not expensive at all. But you will have a lot of fun with this game. It is like a side-scrolling action platformer. With this one, you get like multiple different weapons that you can choose from. The boss battles are pretty good. The sprite work looks good. It's a good looking game. The music is tight. I really like the music in this one. And it's just Batman, you know, it gives you that overall Batman feel, that dark, you know, Batman universe that we're used to. And it plays off of the 1989 film, I believe, with Jack Nicholson, where he plays the Joker, which in a lot of people's opinions, that was the best Batman movie. A lot of people think Michael Keaton was actually the best Batman. Comment down below who you think the best Batman was. If I had to put it in order, I would probably go Michael Keaton. I would probably go Michael Keaton. I don't know where to place Val Kilmer, because Val Kilmer was pretty good too. George Clooney's probably more towards the bottom. He's probably right above Christian Bale. Robert Pattinson, I'm not even going to count him. Like, I don't even count that Batman. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Michael Keaton definitely was the best for me. I think George Clooney played the best Bruce Wayne. I think he was the best Bruce Wayne for sure, George Clooney. The best Batman, though, Michael Keaton for sure. For me. Let me know down in the comments what you think about that one. But Batman on the NES, another really good one, 10, 12 bucks. You can't beat that price. Next up, we have a Sega classic here, and this is Sonic 2. I've talked about Sonic 2 being a great value on my channel before, but this is one of the few Sega Genesis games that you can get complete in box with the manual and everything and still pay under $20. This game will run you around 18 and 19 bucks. Complete in box. And Sonic 2 is a classic, you know, amazing game on its own. It's a really dope game. This is one of those games that I actually enjoyed using the cheat codes on to be able to turn into Supersonic. Playing Sonic 2 as Supersonic is a ton of fun. It's basically like playing as Super Mario with an unlimited Mario star. You know how when Mario gets a star, he's just invincible? When you're Supersonic, you're pretty much invincible. And not only that, but it's like you have the super speed as well. So you're literally just flying through the levels. It's a ton of fun. I enjoy it. And this is kind of like semi 2-player. This is one of those games on Sega that I just didn't understand. It's kind of 2-player. Like you can, if there's another controller in there, you can control Tails, but forget it. If Sonic is taken off and you don't keep up with Sonic, you have to wait until Tails catches up, and then you can kind of control him again. The only good thing is that Tails he takes damage, but he never dies. So I guess that's the good part about playing as Tails, but Sonic 2 is a pretty cool one, so definitely check it out. If you haven't purchased this or seen this yet, add this one to your list if it's not in your collection, because it is a great value. The next game that we have up, we're going to get a little bit more modern here. So we're going to get with some more modern games now. So first one up, I've talked about this series before. This is one that you definitely need to check out. And that is the Shadow of Colossus and Eco Collection. remastered in high definition. These are two classic PlayStation 2 games. And I'm glad they brought these to the PlayStation 3 because we all know that the PlayStation 2 has those really dull and dim graphics. They're really not the, the PlayStation 2 is a struggle mode when you're playing PS2 games. It's just sometimes really difficult to see. But these are two very cool open world adventure exploration games, especially Shadow of the Colossus. It'd be very interesting to see them do like a part 2 of Shadow of the Colossus, maybe on the PS5, with maybe some open world AI in there and some, maybe even some VR aspects. I mean, that would be a really wild adventure. Just considering how expansive the open world was on the PS2, you'd probably be able to explore for days if they made like a part 2 on the PS5. So I'd be interested in something like that. PlayStation, Sony, you guys need to do something with that. And then Ico, it's not as open world because you're like in a castle and you're trying to find, I think, a girl in a castle. But even though it's like in a castle, it still has this very open, ominous feel to it. Ico, both of these games, very solemn, very ominous, very eerie, in a sense. Especially when you consider in Shadow of the Colossus, you're pretty much chasing down like demons that manifest themselves in these behemoth, mammoth level creatures. So it's very, very interesting story. But this is definitely worth it. I mean, you can pick this game up for under 15 bucks. Clearly GameStop had it for $9.99, so this is not expensive at all. And you get two amazing games for less than the price of most games out right now, right? Everything is so expensive. So if you're looking to get a great value, this collection is definitely one you'll want to check out. And then another collection that I think a lot of people have slept on or sleep on is going to be God of War collection. So this is another one, under 15 bucks is where you can find this. And again, you can get two more classic PlayStation 2 games. God of War, the original, where it all started. Just a classic game for sure. And then God of War 2. So 2, and this is like, God of War set the tone for so many hack and slash style 3D games. So many games have based, their character moves off of this game. So this is definitely one that you'll want to check out. I think some of these include the God of War 3 demo, although that's like a $5 game, so you probably won't spend any time playing that. But definitely gives you the opportunity to play two more PlayStation 2 classics in a remastered and higher definition mode, which is always easier on the eyes because the PlayStation 2 was known for having some weak graphics. So this is another one that I would recommend. Great value, great bang for your buck on this one here as well. And then we're going to get into some 3DS, and we're going to start off with Heroes of Ruin here. This is a really cool like Diablo style action adventure game. It plays similar to like Ultimate Alliance. The characters in this one are really cool. Kind of what you would normally see with these types of games. You have characters that are maybe weaker physically but have better projectile moves. You have the big but the strong guy. I don't really know all the characters in this one because I didn't play this one a ton, but this is a cool one on the 3DS. If you're looking to change up, what you play on the 3DS, because I feel like the 3DS is more known for like the Mario style games, RPG, stuff like that. So if you want something a little different, a little bit of action on the 3DS, this is a cool one. Heroes of Ruin, again, not expensive at all, not pricey, great value here. You should be able to get this one for $15 or under. Great option on the 3DS. Definitely check it out if you're into that top-down action style game. And then last but not least, if you want to change it up and get a little bit of variety, great bang for your buck. Ultimate NES Remix. If you're not wanting to spend a ton of money, but you want to get a bunch of games in one shot, this is definitely the way to go. You can take advantage of the original Metroid, Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda. So many great NES games jam-packed into this one cart, and you can play it from the comfort of your palm, right? You don't have to worry about plugging in the NES and all that stuff. And it's just a great way to experience a lot of these classic NES games. This one, I think, is a bit on the higher end of the, under 20 price point. This one probably will run you between 15 and 20 bucks. But look at that. Super Mario Bros, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Excite Bike, Mario the Lost Levels, Donkey Kong Jr., Super Mario Bros. 3, Kirby's Adventure, Dr. Mario, Metroid, Zelda 2, right? So like Punch Out. I mean, so many classic games in one card. This is definitely worth it, in my opinion, if you're not trying to spend a ton. And yeah, that does it for me. That would be my recommendation. I mean, you could probably purchase all of these games for well under $200 and add a bunch of classic titles to your collection. Let me know down in the comments if you think there's any value here or if you think any of these games are worth it. I know a lot of times we feel like all the video games, all the good games are expensive, but that's definitely not the case. You've got a ton of really quality games that are well under 20 bucks and can provide you with a lot of fun gameplay action. It's the Y2K Collector, just dropping some options on you here on a Sunday morning. I will see you later this afternoon. Take it easy.